Slimehouse TV, myself Theo Kane. You know what time it is? It's Toy Talk Tuesday time. And today I want to talk about graded action figures, graded toys and grading toys. Now, this is something that I'm not going to shout anybody out in particular who put this subject towards me, because there were so many people that asked me to talk about graded toys, different facets of grading, and it's also something that I wanted to talk about myself from the very start of deciding to do these Toy Talk episodes, so it's kind of something that we're all wanting to discuss, so I'm not going to shout out anybody in particular, but just know that lots of people that watch this show, lots of you lot, wanted me to talk about it, and I did too, which is nice. When I have an idea and other people want to hear it as well, then we can all benefit from the discussion. So I suppose I should kind of explain first of all what grading and graded action figures even is. So there's companies that you can send off your toy. Let's talk about an action figure. Let's just say we've got a loose Gamorrean guard. We've got a loose Gamorrean guard and we want to send that off to get graded. Now, you can grade anything. You don't just have to get an action figure graded. You can pretty much get anything graded now within reason. But let's just, for the sake of this discussion video, I'll talk about that other stuff later, but we're just going to talk about a Gamorrean guard. So this is a figure that you've got, you want to send it off to get graded. So you have to put it in a package, send it off to the grading company. You also pay them, it's quite expensive, it's not something that's cheap, they don't do it out of the goodness of their heart, it's a business. You send off your figure to them and then they scrutinize that figure. They analyze every millimeter of it, every 0.1 millimeter of it, and they will score it based on how good of a condition it is. So if it's in bad condition, it's going to get a low score. If it's in good condition, it's going to get a high score. But it all comes down to the score at the end. And then when they've graded the figure, when it's been looked at under a microscope and scrutinized and they've checked for any scratches or marks or paint wear or anything like that, they then put it in a plastic perspex box and they put a sticker on it telling you the score that it got and then send it back to you. And then you have a graded action figure. So I'll get to my opinion on toy grading later, but just know that I don't have any graded toys myself. I don't have any. So I spoke to my friends Toy Polloi and Toy Scavenger because they've both done videos covering toy grading, various aspects of it. So they said that I could use footage from their videos to help explain this all a little bit better. So shouts to them, shouts to Toy Scavenger and shouts to Toy Polloi because they were dudes for letting me use their footage. Now, I'm a big fan of museums. I like to go to museums and I don't have any graded figures, but what I do have that's kind of similar to a graded figure, at least in the look, is downstairs, because I collect lots of weird stuff, not just toys, I collect lots of cool things. I've got an old museum display that shows the scales of whales. The scale of whales. It's a whale scale. I'll get some shots of it. But it's a plastic perspex box with whales that are displayed inside it. It's a museum piece. So when I see these graded toys, to me, they look like how you would expect to see a dissected bat in a museum. I like toys when they're displayed in a cabinet and they look cool, but I think when you get a toy graded, it's so far removed from that toy, it's so far removed from cool or even any kind of style. The style is clinical. It's so far removed from the original artistry of the toy and the design, and it's now something that's displayed purely for the score that it gets, and that score comes down to how much it's worth if you want to sell it. Now, some people think that grading is a scam. Toy Polloi did a whole video where he sent a figure off to be graded and then it came back and he broke it out of the box and then sent it off again to be graded, and both times it got different scores. So some people don't actually think that grading is legit. Some people swear by it. It's all down to your own not your own interpretation, your own opinion on it. Again, why do you collect toys? Do you want them because of their monetary value? Do you want them because you think they're cool? Do you want to put it in a perspex case because you just want to preserve it? At which point you could put it in any perspex box. It doesn't have to be sent off to be graded. I'm going on a bit of a tangent, but I suppose it all comes down, like many of these discussion topics, to how you view your collection, how you like to have your collection, and if you collect your stuff because you want it because it's cool, or do you want it because it's worth money. And to me, the only reason that you would want a figure graded and like officially licensed graded to say the number on it is because you want it to go up in value and you want it to be worth money and prove what actual score it's got. Now, the whole thing can come down to the argument of like, well, who gives the rights to the graders to say that's what that's worth? I suppose they're just a body of professionals that their profession is to scrutinize toys and look at if they've been repainted or refurbished or anything like that, and it's just the most accurate example that you could ever have that that figure is what it says it is on the box. Nah, it reminds me a bit of like when Logan Paul goes into a boxing match and he's got a Charizard round his neck. It's some people want it because it's clout to say, yeah, look what I've got. I've got this original Kenner Star Wars figure and it's graded and it's got a 9.8, so it's super immaculate. And then you get people like me that just are happy to have the figure. So it's just, again, the various different types of people within the collecting community and how some people want it to be displayed in a box with a number on it, and they don't want it to look cool. They want it to be as far removed from the action figure as it ever was, now that it's just a sterilized piece of plastic in a box with a number on it. And then you get people like me that like to have them on the shelf because they love the artistry of it and they love that it's cool. And I'm kind of repeating myself, but that's as basic as I can break it down. So like I said, I'm not a fan of grading. I really don't get it. I think that there's way more cool stuff in this world that I would rather spend my money on than send money to someone to put one of my toys in a plastic graded box. And some people love it. Some people have a whole collection of graded toys. I don't have any graded toys, and I can't see myself ever wanting to have a graded toy unless I had something that was really rare, in really good immaculate condition, and I wanted to sell it and I wanted to bump the value up by putting it in a box with a number on it, which is, I'm never about that life. Do you know what I mean? So again, it all comes down to the type of collector that you are. I also think that a figure loses all its personality when you put it in one of these plastic boxes. It's not like when you've got an original carded Motu figure or something like that and you want to put it in a clamshell to keep it safe, one that you can take it in and out of, but it keeps it safe. Of course, preserve this shit forever, but when you put it in a box like that, it just takes it, it removes it so far away from what it originally is. And this was a kid's toy that was meant to be thrown about and played with. When you put it in a box like that that's so personalityless, that's got no character to it, just a completely see-through box, it's not like displaying it in a cabinet and making it look cool and putting its weapon in its hand. They don't even have the weapons in the hand. The weapons are displayed separate. I've seen people get Millennium Falcons and Star Wars vehicles and have them completely broken down into the separate pieces and all spread out, almost like something that you'd see in the factory so the workers knew how to put it together. And I'm just not about that life. And then in recent times, I've seen grading go on to become like a madness. I'm seeing people getting VHS tapes graded. VHS tapes sent off and graded. Bear in mind, you can't open that box unless you crack it open like Typoloid did. You can't open that box. It's sealed forever. So when you get like a comic sealed in a graded case, it's sealed. Because the second that you take it out of that case and open it, you might get a thumbprint on it that takes it down from a 8.9 to a 7.6. And these people live by the number that's on the graded box. So once it's in that box, you can never take it out. So if you get a VHS tape, maybe you don't want to watch a VHS tape. I collect VHS tapes and I love old 80s X-rentals and presets and stuff like that. And I like to know that I can take it out of the box, I can smell it, I can look at it, I can put it in my VHS player and I can play it, and I love that. I would never want it in a sealed graded box. Same for game cartridges. Some people have been getting game cartridges sealed and graded. And then recently I saw someone get a wax pack, not even the pack of stickers, the wax paper cover that goes over the stickers and cards, got that graded and wanted a daft amount of money for it. So it's all the kind of the toy scene that I'm not against, because I'm not against it, but it's one that I really don't get and something that I will never understand, and also don't want to be a part of that kind of scene where it's about boosting up the monetary value of toys and making them all worth more, because I think that everybody should be able to enjoy cool toys. I don't think that they should cost a lot of money, but that's my own opinion on it. And I certainly don't think that they should be put in plastic cases with a number on them and the price boosted up even more. But that's just my opinion, and I'd love to know your opinion on what you think of grading. And if you're an old school toy collector, you've probably been aware of grading for a long time. If you're a bit more new school, grading might be a new thing to you. So I'd be interested to know from both sides what your opinion is on toy grading, the grading companies, if you think it's legit, if you think it's a scam, if you think it's a waste of money, and if you think it's something that's unnecessary like me. But like I said, I would love to know your opinion on the subject. In the meantime, I'm Theo Kane. Don't forget to binge the back catalogue. We do one of these Toy Talks every Tuesday. And I also want to know your subject for a future Toy Talk episode. I always get such cool ones, but I always want more. So let me know down in the comments below your opinion on grading and your suggestion for a future Toy Talk episode. I'm also on Instagram. I'm always putting up a lot of exclusive pictures on my Instagram. That's at Theo_Kane_Slimehouse. And if you want to support Slimehouse and help make this channel bigger and better than ever, you can head over to patreon.com/SlimeHouseTV, and for as little as $1 a month or a bit more if you're feeling generous, you can help support this channel and help me make these videos bigger and better than ever. Because I don't just do videos sat here talking to camera. We do all sorts of cool toy coverage on this channel, and I always want to do more, and that money really does help go towards doing that. Like I said, in the meantime, I'm Theo Kane, and I will catch you in the next episode. Until then, I'm gone. Pow!